So you said our body makes CBD?
We do.
Oh,
So
I
if
never
it
heard
was
that before.
illegal, then we would all be in jail because we're all producing CBD. It's just in such a minimal amount.
Like, what are the key differences between like CBD and THC, and how do they
So,
affect the body? So are there any like common misconceptions or myths about CBD that you frequently
oh, a
encounter?
lot. Yeah, a lot. People don't take it. It's a drug. It's going to get you high. You're going to get addicted to it. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get thrown in jail. You're going to be assumed that you're under the influence of something if you're driving. None of that is true. It took me 4.5 years to get through my father-in-law's head.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the latest and greatest episode, Heighten Your Sixes with Sean Green. I got Miss Dawn Norby here. She is out of by way of California, but I think she's in Texas today. She is a passionate advocate for natural wellness and founder of Budding Botanicals. Dawn is dedicated to educating people on benefits of CBD for hemp and helping others find natural relief through all natural product line. So Don, just welcome to the show, and how are you doing
Thank
today?
you. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, man. So I mean your story, is inspiring. The things that you went through to get to the point of having your thriving business. Can you just give the audience a little background of what motivated you to get into learn about the CBD and all the whole space and everything you're doing?
Sure. So back in 2006, our son got diagnosed with idiopathic aplastic anemia. And they gave him some treatments and it put him into remission. But in 2011, he developed a secondary disorder called PNH. And the only cure for PNH and aplastic anemia is a bone marrow transplant. So they put him on the bone marrow transplant list. And the nurses at the hospital came to us and asked if they could volunteer our son, Trevor, to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And we were totally against it because we were under the assumption that Make-A-Wish is for terminally ill children, and we knew Trevor would be okay. And they informed us we were wrong, and it's just for children going through difficult times, and the bone marrow transplant would be a difficult time. So we said yes. They came out and they met with Trevor and us, and his first wish to go to Augusta to play golf was turned down. Augusta said no. And he said, okay, fine. I want to go to Scotland and play St. Andrews.
Wow, that's cool.
And Make-A-Wish said, okay. And 2 weeks later, the four of us, our family, were on a plane to Scotland for Trevor and my husband and my son and myself to go golf at 5 different golf courses and had the time and experience of our lives. It was the most phenomenal thing
I know that was fun.
ever. It was incredible. And it's 13, 14 years ago now, and we still talk about the trip, how much fun it was. But when we got back, we were in the hospital and he was in so much pain from the chemotherapy shutting down his immune system. He goes, Mom, I don't want drugs. Help me with this pain. I don't want drugs. And I didn't know what to do. So I called my husband and I said, come switch spaces with me and talked to Trevor. And they sat and they talked for about 6 hours about golf and the trip to Scotland and every shot that they hit and how it made him feel and how he played and everything. And he was able to talk through the entire bout of pain.
Yeah.
And I came back the next day, switched spaces again, and my husband was telling me about it. And it's like, I got to pay this forward. When Trevor's healthy, I got to figure out how to help pay this forward because every family should be able to have something like this that they can look back on and talk about. And so Trevor had his bone marrow transplant. Everything was good. He got home. And it was 6 months later, they said, you're cured. Everything is good. Live your life. Life is good. And I said, okay, it's time to volunteer for Make-A-Wish. And I got in the shower, ready to go. And I felt a lump. And I go, this isn't good. And went to the doctors and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So Make-A-Wish got put on the back burner. And I went through all of my treatment and talked it over with Trevor. And he told me what to expect, which I don't recommend any parent ever having to do with your child is discuss stuff like that because it's not something you wish on anybody. But I went through all my treatment And when I was finally deemed cured, I called Make-A-Wish and volunteered, and they accepted me, and I got through the training. And my first wish kiddo was going through leukemia treatments at the time, and he was in kindergarten. And we went and met with them, learned about his wish, and the mom pulled me aside and said, "Can you do me a favor and try to make him a salve or a bud balm out of CBD to help alleviate his pain?" And I said, "Of course,"
Yeah.
acting like I knew what I was talking about. I went home and had no clue what CBD was, what kind of salve she wanted, or anything. But living in California at the time, we had a couple friends that owned dispensaries. So I reached out to a friend of ours, and he and I talked, and he recommended that we go with hemp and we go with an isolate. And I spoke with the doctors, and they said that would be great. Just make sure it's all natural and organic, because we don't want anything to affect the medications that we are giving him for his leukemia treatments. Okay, so went back to Google University and checked things out,
Yeah.
and got some hemp isolate and made a salve, took it back to them, and he put it on and came running down the stairs and went outside to play with his brother. And the mom started crying. And I go, "What's up? What's the matter? What happened?" And she goes, "He has not been that happy or been able to move that well since he started treatment." And she goes,
Wow.
"I think you got something here. I need to get a vat of that." So it was then that I told my husband about it, and he goes, "I think you got a business here." So the business, I chose to not do business. I just wanted to make a bunch of it, gave it to them, took some to the hospital, spoke with the doctors, and let them give it out to patients that parents requested alternate forms of relief. And he says, "Okay, we got a lot. I need more. I need more. I need more." And my husband said, "You need to start marketing this and make a business out of it." And that's how Budding Botanicals was formed. So
That's
long story short.
no, it's an incredible story. I mean, it
Yeah.
was definitely worth hearing all of it. That way people really get a background and feel of like, what
Yeah.
where did it start, and like and the passion and the love behind, the mission of what you're doing.
Yeah. I wish I had it for my son and myself, but we went through the treatment, doing the just working through the pain. And I wish I had it when I was going through my treatment, but I didn't. I didn't know anything about it. I only knew about
Mhm.
THC, which everybody offers you THC in California. And I didn't know
Yeah.
there was a thing called CBD. So it was
Yeah.
good to know. I learned a lot, and we've come a long way in the 14 years since we started it.
And so when the mother asked you to make the CBD, the salve, how did she know to ask you to do it? Why did she, you know,
She knew that I went through treatment like her son, and
mhm.
she knew that my son also went through treatment. And she just assumed that I would know what it is because of what Trevor went through and what I went through.
Okay, that's cool. So just kind of she just kind of assumed or just figured you knew more about those
Mhm.
alternative treatments, and you just ran with it.
Correct. And
Cool.
then I had to be honest with her, and I said, "I went home and had to look up everything you told me because I had no idea what you were talking about. And I learned a lot, and
Yeah.
here's the product. Let's see if it works."
Okay. And so now your business is thriving, and so you towards your business is more of like national, international. How's the impact of the growth
We
working now?
sell everywhere except to Australia, and that's because Australia has not legalized CBD. They're the
Okay.
only country that hasn't. Don't know why, but they just are uneducated on it. We do everything from wholesale, white labeling for companies, and regular retail. So we're kind of busy in all different venues.
That's really cool. Really cool. So you helping a lot of people, basically.
We try, yeah. A lot of different things that have come of this. We still make it ourselves. It's small batch. We make it, everything small batch, very controlled. We know
Yeah.
what goes in every single batch. We get third-party testing, and we just want to stick with our roots and stay all natural and organic. We refuse
Mhm.
to stray from that.
Yeah. Because once you like you're like a co-packer or somebody making it for you, then you kind of lose the control of what's going in it. Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha. I think that's smart. Because you want to you want to be more of a grassroots or family organization that's really, you know what's in it, what's the impact of it, how it's going to really affect people, because you've done the
Correct.
research behind it. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. So like, what are like, I know probably the audience probably want like, what are the key differences between like CBD and THC, and how do they
So,
affect the body?
okay, so the THC comes from the cannabis plant, and CBD comes from the cannabis plant and the hemp plant. We
Okay.
choose to only use the CBD from the hemp plant, so it's THC free. THC is what has the psychoactive properties to get you high. It is a great product for a lot of people and a lot of different ailments. We chose because we work with a lot of children and military and firefighters and
Mhm.
pilots to stick with the hemp plant because we get the isolate from the hemp. It is 100% THC free. So you will never get a false positive on a drug test. It is
Awesome.
safe for all ages, as
Really
opposed
good.
to THC. You can get kicked out of the military. You can get
Oh yeah.
fired as a pilot if you've
Some
got any
jobs.
of
Yeah.
that in your system.
Mhm.
And there are different types of CBD. We use the isolate, which means it's just CBD. If you get the broad spectrum or the full spectrum CBD, there are traces of THC, 0.03%. It can be that much. And that can, even that tiny bit, can give you a false positive on a urine or drug test. And we have chosen to not go with the broad or the full spectrum because of that. We don't think children need any THC in their system, and the CBD from isolate seems to do the job very well, especially
Mhm.
if it's processed through water, which is how we've got our CBD processed, is through water,
Mhm.
not through chemicals.
I
And
got it.
most of the time it's processed through chemicals, and that's what you can find at the regular pharmacies and large stores that you can buy CBD at. And that's why people say CBD doesn't work, because they're used to getting it at the bigger box stores, and it is made with chemicals when it's processed. So you're not getting the
Mhm.
full effect of the CBD.
Yeah. Okay. And so probably, and also you think about if you're using chemicals, most likely it's a heat, some heating, you know what I'm saying? When you put heat to
Yes,
stuff, you change the chemical structure or, the makeup of it. So,
correct. Yeah. So
okay.
we stick with the isolate, and we have never had any complaints. We have a 98.6% return customer rate. So we know we've got a good
Yeah.
product. We do samples when we are out and about doing shows. We will give
Mhm.
samples and say, go try this. Let us know
Yeah.
if it works. Come back. I've tried CBD before. It doesn't work. It's all a hoax.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, here's
Yeah.
ours. If you feel like trying it, go for it. And almost 100%, 98% of those people will come back and say, what is this? How come it's working? What's going on? It's because it's processed with water and it's chemical free and it's all natural and organic.
Yeah.
That's going to work much better than anything that you're going to get that is synthetic or processed.
Very cool. So can you explain how CBD interacts with the cannabinoid system and its potential benefits for like the pain management?
So it gets into your receptors into your body, and it does not completely alleviate your pain like morphine or something like that would. It
Mhm.
definitely dulls it. You are still going to feel it, but it's going to be completely manageable. It'll get in, and like my husband gets migraines and he gets them in his temples, and he can put some on his temples. I get
Wow.
headaches and I put it on my eyes, and it's amazing how quickly the pain can go away. Like I will suffer for a headache for 4 or 5 hours, and it's like, you dork, put on some CBD. And I put it on, and all of a sudden it's gone. And my husband will do the same with his migraine. My son has shoulder pain from surgeries and playing golf, so he will rub it on his shoulder, and he can go back out and hit golf balls. So
Wow.
it reacts to your nervous system and the nerves in your body, and it helps tame them and turn down the reactive receptors.
So, but the effect was in sometime, what you said, within seconds or minutes after you apply
If
the.
it's if it's
Mhm.
done topically, you're going to know within a minute. Usually it's about 30 seconds.
I know that really help. I know so many people that have like the knee pains, and the problem with the wrist from like carpal tunnel, things of that nature. That would really help.
Yeah,
Definitely.
my husband had bone on both knees, so he just had double knee replacement. It was not fun.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
he was using the CBD as soon as his wounds closed. He was rubbing CBD on there, went back for his 6 week checkup, and the doctor said, "Did you miss your 6 week? Because you're about where a 6 month patient should be." And he goes,
Wow.
"No, this is what I've been doing." So now that doctor wants our product so he can give it to his patients to
Dang.
put on. So it's an amazing plant. And that's all it is. It's a plant.
Yeah.
But the things it's capable of doing and helping people with is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. It's just the effect it gives to the body on the, let's say on the cellular level. Because like,
Mhm.
we know we can feel like, the relief of headache or shoulder pain or whatever, but what, the beauty of the science behind what it's doing on the cellular level is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really, that's what's mind blowing. I guess that God at work, I would say.
Yep. Agreed.
So what should consumers look for when, choosing like high quality, CBD products? It's like your product.
They want to make sure that the ingredients on every box or every product they purchase, they can read them and they understand them. And they
Okay.
are not long words and not chemically made and not made from a bottle. They're all natural. If you get stuff that is made with the chemicals or products you don't understand or you can't figure out what they are, you're probably not going to have a lot of success with that working. Like I tell people, I don't care whose product you buy, make sure whatever you get is all natural and organic. And I preach that to almost anything and everything in your life, because if you can get the chemicals out of your system, you're leading such a better, healthier life than if you were to get the processed food, the processed medications, everything like that. Get that out, and you're going to live a much happier, healthier, pain-free life.
Like I say, keep it simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I've kind of that follow that path or try to eat the simple stuff, like I guess single ingredient type stuff instead of like watch out for all the different, the stuff you got like a whole big paragraph of whatever's in it. You never know what all this
Yeah.
stuff is.
If you need another page for the ingredients, don't buy it. Don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's definitely some stuff in it that's probably not good for you. That's for sure.
Correct. It's not natural.
So I know you talked recently that CBD can help with the stress, and the sleep improvements. What other things other than those? I know it helps the pain. What other things you can think of that it may help people with?
So we just came out with late last year, Simple X, and that is for cold sores, fever, blisters, and herpes. And we have done a lot of testing and seen nothing but phenomenal results with that. And that is all natural as well. We have a product called X Itch, which is phenomenal for eczema and psoriasis. My girlfriend has a granddaughter, and she texted me last week and she goes, "Does this work on cradle cap?" And I go, "I have no idea. My kids are grown now. I don't have any grandchildren." She goes, "Well, I'm going to try it." She texted me back the next day and she goes, "It's gone. This X Itch got rid of the cradle cap." And I'm like, "No." She goes, "Yeah." And she sent me pictures of before and after, and it was gone.
And like within a day or something?
Yeah, within a day. It was gone. It baffles me the different things that people try this on and it works. Because I would say probably not, wouldn't work. I don't think so. My younger son's teammate on lacrosse, their father was diagnosed with a tumor in his ear, and it was growing and it was blocking his eardrum. And they set surgery date and everything. And the mom called and said, "Can I get some of the tincture, the strong stuff?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" She goes, "Well, I want to try it and see if it'll help." Okay, I'm putting it in your mouth. I'm not sure how it's going to help your eardrum. And she goes, "No, I put it in his ear. I put it directly in his ear." We went in pre-op. The doctor sent him home because it was gone. And I said, "No, that's not right. Something's wrong." She goes, "No, the only thing we did was use your CBD tincture and it dissolved it." The stories like that unless I know the people and I can trust them, I would have never believed it. So it's amazing what it can do. It can give people their life back naturally.
People hope,
Yes.
hope and some freedom.
Yeah.
And like I said, give them that life back. That's man.
Yeah.
So
CBD
good.
is also good for people with seizures. It can help calm their seizures.
I've seen that before. I saw that before on podcasts. Something I've seen that it was a child that suffered from severe, seizures, and
Grand malls.
they give them the CBD, and it was just like it was taking it was remove it, be gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's amazing. There's definitely a higher power at work here. I know it's not me. I might be a helper making the
Yeah.
products, but there's a higher power that has made this, created this product and knows what it can do, just waiting for everybody to figure it out.
Yeah. But just think about if you never had that a lady then, ask you to make that or, inspire you to, look more into it,
Yeah,
just,
I'd still be teaching.
it's amazing one conversation or one question can change the whole path of your life. And now you're, helping millions of people, all over. So that's really great.
Yeah, we're a firm believer that, come to us with a quandary or a problem that you have, and we'll see if we can figure it out. I mean, that's
Mhm.
how we got the cold sore fever blister herpes Simple X taken care of. Is somebody came to us and said, I get these. They're really bad. They hurt. Can you do it? So back to the drawing board we went and did the research and finally came out with a new product. My
Yeah.
brother was diagnosed with stage 4 skin cancer melanomas. And the doctor
Hmm.
said it was from these over-the-counter sunblocks, sunscreens.
Oh, I heard that.
And so he got it all removed and he said, "Hey, sis, can you come up with an all natural sunblock for me?" And trial and error, because he's a golfer, just like my
Hmm.
son, it had to be grease free because they couldn't
Yeah.
have the grease or the oil on their hands for the golf clubs. And we came out with one and we've got a sunscreen now and we've got a DEET free, all natural mosquito repellent lotion.
Oh, I need that down here.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
bad. I didn't know what mosquitoes were till I moved to Texas. I don't like them.
Come to Mississippi, they'll freaking pick you up and take you away.
No, thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've got stuff, and then the stuff that we do, we make sure that it is safe on all ages. So we've got, I mean, the kiddos that are outside, my girlfriend's granddaughter, she put it on her and she goes, the mosquitoes just left and it smells good. So you're not going to go around smelling like chemicals and DEET and all that other stuff that's
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
that stuff can be
And
good for you, know what?
and it gets into your bloodstream,
Yeah.
the chemicals, and it's just so bad for you.
Yeah, that's right. Anything get on your skin, get in your blood. So, and we already know that
Yeah.
the CBD is great it's not going to affect the blood in a negative way. So it's going to be a good effect either way.
Correct.
Really cool. So are there any like common misconceptions or myths about CBD that you frequently
Oh, a
encounter?
lot. Yeah, a lot. People don't take it. It's a drug. It's going to get you high. You're going to get addicted to it. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get thrown in jail. You're going to be assumed that you're under the influence of something if you're driving. None of that is true. It took me 4.5 years to get through my father-in-law's head that CBD was all natural. You're
Mhm.
not going to get high. And I got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to tell you anymore. And he goes, fine. I think it's all garbage and, it's not going to work. Okay. And he had a really bad knee and refused to go in and get the surgery to get his knee replaced. He had one. I'm not getting the other one done. And I go, well, here's some lotion. Try that. Lotion. I'm not dry. I don't have dry skin. I go, just put it on, Keith. Just try it. And he put it on and he's walking around the house without hobbling. And he goes, wow, this is
Yeah.
really good lotion. Where can I get it? And I go, my business. That's CBD. It's what? So
Yeah.
it took 4.5 years of telling him over and over and over,
Yeah.
it's not a drug. It is a plant. It is safe. And I realized that THC is a plant. It's cannabis. I realized that poppy and cocaine are plants, but this is an all natural, safe plant. You're not going to get high. You're not going to get thrown in jail for using it. It's safe for all ages. That is the biggest misconception is people say, I don't want to take any drugs. It's not a drug. Your body makes CBD on its own. We just have been away from it for so long, our body doesn't make enough to make it a medicinal effect.
So you said our body makes CBD?
We do.
Oh,
So
I
if
never
it was
heard that before.
illegal, then we would all be in jail because we're all producing CBD. It's just in such a minimal amount. It's not doing us any good.
But how is our body producing
I
it?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know the technical terms on why it does it and how it does it.
Yeah. I mean, I trust you, not, it just I've heard a lot of things, but I've never heard that one before. That's really cool.
Yeah. And it was in everything until I think they were saying 1949 or 1951 when it was in everything. And then they said, no, we're removing it from everything. And that's when people started getting hurt and getting the arthritis. I mean, it was put into milk products. It was put into was fed to the animals. So the animals that would ingest, like the cows that would ingest
Mm.
hemp plants,
Yeah.
it would be in their meat and people were healthy. And then they said, no, we've got to stop doing this. And that's when the health started to turn.
Yeah. 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 And then I know I watched, I don't know if you ever heard about grounding, but I watched a thing about that, a documentary. They were saying that like inflammation in people's around the world increased once they started making the synthetic sole shoes and people, got disconnected from Gaia and getting, the natural process of grounding. So that was
Yep.
around in that time frame, 50s or 60s or something. I watched a documentary about it.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of things that happened in the past that's affected how people's health are currently in the current crisis people are now.
Well, we never had Alzheimer's. And because we're now they're saying that it's because of the cholesterol. You had a higher number cholesterol. Now they want a lower number of your cholesterol. And that the people that are on the cholesterol medication are testing positive for Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
It's crazy. I mean, I just saw a documentary on that. And it's like, that can't be, but that's what it's been proven. Science has proven that it's the cholesterol medication that's causing the Alzheimer's because your cholesterol is getting too low and your body needs that cholesterol to keep your brain function going.
I would like offline. You have to tell me the name of that documentary. I'd like to check that out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mhm. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know you say you do the lotion, but one thing a question popped in my mind, and you was talking about how in the past they put it like, and I guess they were feeding to the animals, livestock, and things of that nature. So, do you make anything in your line where you can give to like, cats and dogs, anything that like, could they suffer from arthritis and things of that nature as well?
We do. We
Mm-hmm.
make a pet tincture and a pet treat.
Mm-hmm.
And we started with dogs. And then we had people ask about cats. And I said, well, if they'll eat all natural beef, freeze dried beef, yeah, give it to them. And they did. I have a girlfriend that has a horse that on 4th of July and New Year's Eve panics and goes crazy and tries to run away because of the fireworks.
My daughter the same.
Yeah. And she gave her horse some of the CBD. And I said, you're going to have to go a little bit higher dose because that's a lot bigger than a dog or a cat. And she said, this is the first time my horse has not run away. It was 4th of July last year when she gave the horse CBD. So, I mean, we've had people give it to turtles. I don't know why. I don't know why they give it to a turtle. They're pretty mellow anyway. Guinea pigs and their dogs and cats. So if
Mhm.
you do give a dog too much CBD, it will make them hyper. So it has the opposite effect of what it does on a human. A human, it makes us tired. And on a pet or a dog, at least that I'm aware of, it will make them hyper.
Yeah.
So
Certain
more is
dogs,
not always better.
except that's the hyper dog. They already hyper. You don't want to give them, make them even more.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people that have chihuahuas that bark all the time and they just bark and they're really antsy and they
Yeah.
have that anxiety and they'll give them a tiny piece of the pet treat and they're calm and they aren't freaking out.
Mhm.
So the owners can keep their dogs because they aren't annoying all the neighbors,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Definitely. That's cool. That's really cool. So, so what are some current trends or future innovations, you foresee in the CBD wellness industry? Especially, and also like your company as well.
I see companies like mine that are going to be tried to be consumed by the pharmaceutical companies because they are realizing how beneficial CBD as well as THC is. And they are starting to do their own tests and trials to see if they can market their own. And they're going to try to put all of us little people out of business. With that, I say be careful because they're into it for their profits and they will use the chemicals to process it. So I don't think it will be as clean and as pure. So just be careful. But I see a lot of people using it and trying it and realizing how beneficial it is. And that's how it is people just spread the word and say, now this worked for me. Here, try it. Call this
Mhm.
person. She'll send you some samples. And that's how we get most of our return customers is word of mouth. They'll get a sample. We'll send it to them. Oh my gosh, this works. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's really good. But definitely,
Yeah.
I know I would. You definitely will have a customer to me. I can't wait to check it out. So.
We'll send you some mosquito repellent lotion.
Definitely need no love. Well, man, this is really good, great conversation. I really enjoyed, learning about your story, about your everything your company's doing, for the local and the national community and international, I would say. So, I mean, kudos to you and you and your family for, doing the great work you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we definitely need more love and light in the world. So you definitely are spreading it because
Agreed.
I know that you have the website Budding Botanicals. Anywhere else, like you on social media, where can people follow you to know more about what you're doing?
So I'm on Facebook at Budding Botanicals, on Instagram at Budding Bots, and Budding CA on X.
Okay, awesome. Okay, family, this has been another great episode of Heighten Your Senses with Sean Green and Miss Don Norby. Just check out our website, check out our social medias, and please, buy the product if you have any pains, elements, anything going on with you or your family or friends. Definitely check her out. I think you would definitely be pleased and happy with it. Again, thank you for another episode, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, bye.
Thank you.